let's go ahead and move on to the last Power Five championship. And I
Can we
can't
call it
really,
that? Are we
well,
still calling it that?
maybe the Group of Six championship. Look, these are two not good teams. I'll
Very
say
bad.
that. Call it a hot take if you will. Number 23 UNC, number 9 Clemson. Both of these teams play in a terrible conference, and both of these teams, despite not being elite in any way, shape, or form, have been locked into this championship game. I believe for coming on a month now. That's how non-competitive the rest of the conference is. Shout out to my Knowles. I love you, but we're a year away from national title contention or being on the national landscape. So anyway, all that to say, ACC championship game. I'm sorry if you watch this Saturday night, ABC, 7 p.m. Clemson 7.5 point favorites, gentlemen. I'll kick it to you immediately. If DJU trots out there as a starting quarterback, give me the Tar Heels all day and twice on Saturday night because he's not a good quarterback, and this offense is not good when he's under center. I don't think it's necessarily better with Cade Klubnik because he's a true freshman and he doesn't have the experience to quarterback an offense in a championship level game. So I don't see a way Clemson wins this game, to be quite honest. I mean, unless UNC's defense just, uh, you know, completely allows DJU to do whatever he wants, which Wake Forest did earlier in the season, that's a path to a Clemson win. Otherwise, I kind of think Drake May scores a lot of points on a Clemson defense that was just porous last week against Spencer Rattler in the Gamecocks.
Yeah. I for one more time this year, UNC is my stone cold lock of the week. And that's because I don't want to bet on Clemson's offense. You could not pay me enough money to bet on Clemson's offense. So North Carolina is just the drug that I can't quit this season, I guess, because the last 2 weeks should make me very, very cautious about that. But yeah, I think North Carolina comes in. I think Mac Brown and his team come in with something to prove. And I think they're more excited to be in this game than Clemson is. And we talk about that narrative in bowl season a lot. I think it's going to matter in this game. So I think North Carolina comes in and makes a statement.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't really believe in either of these teams, right? And I don't know what it is about these teams. I don't know if it's the fact that, DJU completes 27% of his passes and doesn't hit the century mark against South Carolina. I don't know if it's the fact that Drake May couldn't even complete 54% of his passes against Georgia Tech just a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it's the fact that, UNC's kicker apparently just is not clutch. He does not have that dog in him. I don't know what the situation is there, but he just ain't it. Man, trying to pick this game is probably the hardest one for me to pick just because I don't know what I'm going to get from either of these teams. I could see this one being a blowout either way. I could see this one being really close. I could see this being a high scoring or a low scoring game. I have almost no read on this game just because I have no idea what team's going to show up.
Sure.
UNC's defense has been pretty bad this year. I could see maybe Shipley going off in this one. But again, Drake May, he's been really good this year. We were talking about him earlier being in that sort of Heisman, should have been talk, even though he didn't really get the attention for it. I'm going to go ahead and pick UNC in this game plus 7.5, just because, man, I don't like DJU in this situation. He looked really good for a couple of games there and disappeared, fell off a cliff. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. It's got to be, just the stuff going on in his head. Man, I have no idea what's happening for him, but this ain't it. And so, yeah, I think this is probably a UNC plus 7.5. I don't know if they're going to win the game. I'm going to reserve that judgment for, I don't know, probably about a minute left in the fourth quarter because I have no idea how this game is going to roll. But I will take this one to be closer than I will take it to be a blowout.
I feel like DJU is going to transfer home to I don't know, Arizona State or something where and I don't even know if he fits there. He's a California kid, West Coast kid, right? Top quarterback in the country coming out. To me, the future is so clearly Cade Klubnik. And I feel like even Clemson fans have turned on DJU. It's like every moment is too big for him. Aside from that Wake Forest game, the dude cannot process blitz packages, complex coverages. It's a true roll of the dice if he's going to pass for more than 100 yards right now without turning the football over. So, I don't believe in Clemson's offense either. I think UNC. I don't know if they totally win the game just because I don't think UNC is very good either. But certainly not going to bet on Clemson to win by more than a score. So all three of us on the Tar Heels.
get quick game stats for him outside of that Wake Forest game where he was sensational. His highest passing output this year was 233 yards against Miami.
Oof,
That's not
that's
great. That's
not
just not
good.
great. And there's a lot of 100 plus yard games here. And then of course the stinker against South Carolina where he couldn't even make it to the century mark. It's not good. He's probably heading west at the end of the season.
Yeah, and he might
Sure.
need a little bit of a Bo Nix rehab program where he
Yeah.
goes from a little bit stiffer competition. Not that the ACC is stiff competition, but
I was gonna say,
going out west might not be the worst thing for his career.
Gracious hip.